Even though the United States of America emerged as an independent country after the year 1776 and was officially recognized in 1783, the history of these lands dates back thousands of years. In ancient times, the first people settled in the American continent. While the exact details of how Native Americans first settled in these territories are not known, a theory suggests that people migrated from Eurasia around 30,000 years ago, crossing a land bridge known as Beringia. This land bridge connected Siberia to North America during the Ice Age. The migration continued until approximately 10,000 years ago, when a glacial period ended and the land bridge became submerged due to rising ocean levels. Before we delve further into this topic, we would like to express our gratitude to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Raid is an exciting new RPG game that offers an immersive experience with its captivating storyline, stunning 3D graphics, intense boss fights, and thrilling PvP battles. With hundreds of champions to collect and customize, such as Fel, who possesses incredible skills and a striking appearance, Raid provides endless entertainment. The game has quickly gained popularity, attracting millions of players worldwide within a short period. It is regularly updated, ensuring a constantly engaging experience. I personally have been impressed by its quality and graphics, making it comparable to leading PC and console titles. Best of all, Raid is completely free to play. By clicking the special link in the description, you can receive 50,000 silver and an epic champion for free to start your incredible journey now. Moving back to the early inhabitants of America, they were known as Paleo-Americans. Over time, they migrated deeper into the continent, forming tribes and nations and developing their own unique cultures. Among the notable cultures that existed in these lands were the Adana culture, Iroquois culture, Coles Creek culture, Pueblo culture, and Mississippian culture. Another region of the United States with an interesting and distinct history is Hawaii. The Polynesian people settled in Hawaii between the 1st and 10th centuries AD, marking the beginning of native development in the region. European colonization of the Americas began in the 15th century. In 1492, a Spanish expedition led by the Italian explorer Christopher Columbus sailed west in search of a new trade route to the Far East, but ended up landing in what Europeans came to know as the New World. This event led to subsequent voyages and the establishment of colonies and trade posts. The Spanish built their American empire, using islands like Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Hispaniola as bases. France also founded colonies in eastern North America, various Caribbean islands, and parts of South America. Portugal colonized Brazil. The eastern seacoast was primarily settled by English colonists in the 17th century, with smaller numbers of Dutch and Swedes. The first successful English colony, Jamestown, was established in 1607 on the James River in Virginia. In the late 17th century, a new wave of settlers arrived, focusing on commercial agriculture based on tobacco. Despite conflicts between Native Americans and English settlers, the colonies expanded rapidly, attracting more immigrants. Each of the 13 American colonies had slightly different governmental structures. Generally, a colony was governed by a governor appointed from London, who controlled the administration. The governor relied on a locally elected legislature to enact taxes and make laws. By the 18th century, the American colonies experienced significant growth, thanks to low death rates, abundant land, and food supplies. This led to a substantial influx of immigrants. African slaves were imported for labor on tobacco and rice plantations from the British colonies in the West Indies, and by the 1770s, they constituted 1/5 of the American population. The question of independence from Britain began to arise when the colonies no longer needed British military support against the French and Spanish powers. The French and Indian War, which was part of the larger 7 Years' War, played a significant role in the political development of the colonies. Britain emerged victorious over French forces, resulting in France losing its colonies and territories, including Canada and Louisiana. The war had a high cost, leading Britain to seek additional funds. In 1765, the British Parliament passed the Stamp Act, imposing taxes on the colonies without consulting their legislatures. This sparked a debate over Parliament's right to tax Americans without representation, leading to the famous slogan, "No taxation without representation." The colonists refused to pay the taxes, and tensions escalated in the late 1760s and early 1770s. The Boston Tea Party in 1773 marked the beginning of the Revolution, as colonists protested against a new tax on tea. In response, Parliament enacted the Coercive Acts in 1774, which outraged and united the colonies. The First Continental Congress was formed in 1774 to coordinate resistance, calling for a boycott of British trade and petitioning the king for redress of grievances. The Second Continental Congress was established in 1775 to organize the defense against the British Army. In 1775, the 13 colonies rebelled against British rule, and in 1776, they declared their independence as the United States of America. During the American Revolutionary War, 1775 to 1783, the Americans achieved victories, such as capturing the British invasion army at Saratoga in 1777. France, Spain, and the Netherlands formed military alliances with the United States, balancing the forces against Britain. General George Washington played a crucial role in organizing and leading the American forces. The war ended with the Peace of Paris in 1783, where the independence of the United States was recognized, and the former colonies gained more territory through westward expansion. In 1803, President Thomas Jefferson purchased the Louisiana Territory from France, doubling the size of the United States. The 19th century saw further territorial expansions, including the incorporation of Texas in 1845 and the acquisition of additional lands after the Mexican-American War. The United States faced internal conflicts during the Civil War, 1861 to 1865, primarily due to the controversy over slavery. After 4 years of war, the Union emerged victorious, and national unity was gradually restored. The United States experienced economic expansion and industrial growth throughout the 19th century, with the construction of infrastructure. In 1898, the United States engaged in the Spanish-American War, gaining territories such as the Philippines, Puerto Rico, and Guam. The 20th century saw the United States participating in World War I, after initially remaining neutral. The Great Depression in 1929 had a significant impact on the global economy. The United States joined World War II after the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, supporting the Allies and providing supplies. The war ended in 1945, with the United States and the Soviet Union emerging as rival superpowers during the Cold War. The United States focused on conflicts in the Middle East in the 21st century, particularly after the September 11th attacks in 2001. Additionally, the United States faced an economic crisis in 2008, comparable to the Great Depression.